So you may think that Indian horror is really bad and shitty and tacky, but you have no idea that Bollywood has made some of the most insane creature films of all time. So the first film we're going to talk about today is Jaani Dushman.
Is bad shit.
It's batshit crazy with the most star-studded cast.
Fun fact, so the film was made basically to relaunch.
Arman Kohli.
They were rebooting his career or whatever, right? And I remember seeing posters all those years ago where his name was called Manish Kohli. So they were trying to like con the audience and thinking, oh, this is not the terrible actor you've known.
Maybe he's like his estranged brother or something like
I
that.
don't know what the fuck was going on.
One of my favorite parts about this movie is how it exists both in the past and in the present. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean. So the film begins with Rajat Bedi's wedding. And you're introduced to all his friends who come congratulate him in various ways. Akshay Kumar, Sonu Nigam.
Yeah, everybody's there.
Everyone's there. Sunil Shetty is there. And basically, when he goes for the Suhag Raat, his bride turns into a skeleton.
Yeah.
It's unclear whether she kills him or not, but she harms him in some way. And this is where it gets interesting because now we get into who this skeleton person is and you realize that, oh, it's a beautiful girl. And she's telling the camera about how I used to have a body, but now I'm just a soul. Basically, then you get into the backstory about what happened to her and you realize that the guy she was marrying, him and his friend tried to rape her. Yeah, they tried to rape her and the entire college, all the characters, they gaslit her into forgiving
Basically.
the rapist.
They're like, yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Boys will be boys, right?
This is what happened. Like, okay, like really weird. And then basically the inciting incident happens where they've planned this party at this killa and they call the girl early because they want to take revenge on her for letting everyone know that they try to rape her.
Yeah.
And so they try to rape her again.
Clearly, she's the bad person.
And then they end up killing her. Now, this is supposed to be before the opening scene, which is as the wedding. But the film now continues from this point.
Without referencing
The past, and basically now you're like, oh wait, did this happen before the first scene or did this happen after the first scene? And suddenly
but the
it's
thing
a
is,
part of both.
Yeah, but the thing is that because she's telling the story, it clearly, and she's a fucking skeleton.
Yeah, but see, this is not
Later.
This isn't Goodfellas, where she's narrating and now we're cutting through this montage. It's not Casino, like Robert De Niro's not here. Like you're left questioning for the rest of the film that how is this possible? So I had seen this clip of Arman Kohli or Manish Kohli turning into a bike while chasing someone, and I didn't know it was from this movie. So wait, you know what? Let's just do a bit of a story recap about exactly what this film is. Essentially, it's about this group of friends. In that group of friends, there are these two villains who try to rape this girl. And they end up doing that and they end up killing her. But what they don't know is that she is actually an icchadhari nagin from her past life.
Yes.
And who is her past lover? Arman Kohli.
Manish Kohli.
Or Manish Kohli. And then basically her and Arman Kohli try to kill all her friends
Guys, yeah.
because, they were bad to her.
Yeah.
Ooh, even Arshad Varsi is in this film.
Yes, he is. And I love how he dies. Like he gets electrocuted or whatever. And he keeps chatting while he's dying.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite bit. Like he's continuing a conversation.
Correct.
While he's frying.
Let's segue to the next film, which is Nagina.
Yeah, which is another icchadhari naagin set.
Yeah.
This is like such a uniquely Indian trope. It's India's gift to the world of creatures. Like, you've got your Frankensteins, you've got your vampires, your zombies. I think the history of this goes back to the Mauryan times. The Chandragupta Maurya had these female assassins who were fed poison for a long time. And they were immune to it and they were used to sort of assassinate other people. And this is somehow obviously morphed into women who can take form of other people or they have a separate form.
Seems like this genre was also taken so well back then because it was also, you could kind of mix like a woman's sensuality with into a snake. And
yeah,
a lot of these, like this film in particular, Nagina, is also iconic because
despite the hideous corsets that Sridevi is wearing in it.
But it is also iconic because of Sridevi's portrayal of the Nag.
I think it's a woman-centric film. Like she's the hero.
Correct.
In a mainstream film, you obviously have other films where women are centric, but it's much more family dramas. This is the family drama where she has the power. So yes, it's definitely interesting. It's also a film which has a sequel. And in the mid-80s, we weren't doing sequels of films.
What are the first few film franchises?
I think it's probably the first film franchise. It's also the same era as Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I think this is the mid-80s.
Right.
And it's the heyday of Amrish Puri as a villain. I think it's a sad thing that he didn't continue making more films out west. The story of the film essentially is that Rishi Kapoor is this guy who just returned to India from the UK and lives in a palatial house in the middle of nowhere. And his mom wants him to marry this girl. And he goes out on a trip where he's got these 12 cars. He has to select one car to go out on a trip in. And he chooses the Godagari. And they go out, they see some snakes on the way. They try and bite him. It turns out that this snake is actually Sridevi. And he meets her separately later. They fall in love. She comes home and she's protecting him from all these other villains in his life until Amrish Puri shows up. And Amrish Puri essentially wants her because he wants that nag money, the gem it's supposed to be on her head or something.
Yeah.
Which gives him like power to control the world.
So, okay, let's segue into the third film on the list, which is Purana Mandir.
Yes.
This film is actually an earnest, out and out scary sort of horror movie with actual grounding in myth. The portrayal is nothing like Jaani Dushman or
Yeah.
Nagina.
No, so the difference is that I think it's a serious film. It's atmospheric.
And so Purana Mandir is essentially about this family which has been cursed since centuries because there was some kind of tantric baba called Samri.
Yeah.
And Samri essentially attacked one really rich person's wife. I think he was a king or he was just a really rich zamindar. And they had Samri beheaded. And they had his body buried somewhere else. And they had his head buried somewhere else. And Samri cursed the family that until my body and head remain separate, every woman born in your family will die early.
Yeah.
And the day that my body and head meet, your family, your bloodline will come to an end.
Yeah. So it's a lose-lose basically.
It's a lose-lose. And the story follows this girl who is, of that family and she has a boyfriend now. And the curse only sort of happens when you get pregnant. So the day she gets pregnant and has a kid is the day that she is supposed to die. And her father knows this. So he doesn't want her to get married to the boyfriend. But the boyfriend is like, to hell with tradition and fathers and family.
I need to get some.
I get some tonight. So he and the girl with two of their friends, they kind of sneak away back to
that house.
that old mansion where that curse sort of happened.
Which is obvious, right? Where else would you go? You didn't go to a hotel. So
And the film is called Purana Mandir because Samri's body was buried at the mandir, but his head was buried behind the house. Traditionally in India, you see that a lot of horror, all the horror stuff that we've kind of had, it's built on our myths and our customs and our folklore. But my question is that Western cinema seems to be dependent more on a kind of horror that is mysterious, that you don't know much about. What is scarier?
if you leave it to my imagination, is much worse.
Much worse, right?
Absolutely much worse. But if you're talking about creature flicks, the one I love is a film called Atank. It stars Dharmendra, it stars Vinod Mehra, I think Hema Malini, Nafisa Ali, and it's
The Indian Jaws.
It's the Indian Jaws. There are these two friends who grow up in this beachfront sort of colony or sort of city. Dharmendra and Vinod Mehra get together to take revenge on the shark. And they go out on a fucking rowboat, clearly. And this is the great line from Jaws, which is like, you're gonna need a bigger boat. And here we have the smallest fucking boat possible and two dudes with an axe.
But so I think that's the episode.
That's the episode, yeah.
And
watch all of these.
Watch all these and
Let us know what you think.
we'll see you in the next one.
Yep.
Fight me.